They're going to pretend that they care, pretend that they're irritated at Xbox, and that's kind of the theme of things today, right?
And that's exactly what you're doing. And you can't even go as far to say that you're a fan because you don't even like playing on the platform. Like, what is wrong with you PlayStation fanboys? Why do you guys care so much about a platform that you people don't even play on?
But again, of course, people are truly upset at Peter. Anything he has critical to say towards Xbox, just like those that are maybe hardcore PlayStation fans, are going to be upset at me whenever I am critical of PlayStation.
And when did you do that? Because the last time I checked, you haven't even brought up a video giving Boomstick an apology about you being wrong. If anything, you doubled down on it and said, well, it's only just one game. PlayStation's still gonna maintain exclusivity. That's what you said. You know, PlayStation ain't full third party. It's not the same thing like how it is on Xbox. I mean, come on, man. Xvault Gaming, you gotta stop doing this, man. Because the only thing that you losing is your hair.
Just happens. It goes with territory. But again, at least mine comes from the truth. I'm just not.
What truth is that? What truth is that? I mean, you was bashing somebody in this community for having a stance of Helldivers 2 potentially dropping on Xbox, and now that it did, now you want to sit there and save face and say, oh, well, it's just one game. It's just one game.
Not a talking head here. Contrary
You
to
sure? You sure?
popular belief. But yeah, Peter Ovo's such a little traitor. So yeah, they get that rebuttal back again. They gotta pretend that everything matters, right? But let's continue on here. Let's go over some articles as well. Situation that we still don't know too much about. It's a hybrid. It's a PC. It's a console. It's not. It is. It isn't. How does it work? Is it going to be efficient? Is it going to catch on to the casual market? Is it going to do anything?
We don't know that. The system would have to release first before we could even decide if any of those things are going to happen. Like, what are you doing, bro? What are you talking about, bro? Of course, the system would have to come out to see how well it's going to sell before we can make an assessment if it's going to even appeal to the casual gaming market.
Thing for them, all that sort of stuff, right? Below that here, we do have Alejandro, right? You're doing a disaster with Xbox, right? Tagging Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, bring back the older Xbox team. They knew how to do the right things. Xbox 360 era was the best of gaming. I wouldn't say the best, but it was peak. It was.
No, it was definitely better than PS3, by far. Now we ain't even gonna argue that. What are you talking about? It was by far one of the best consoles that generation. Now that we had, I mean, I feel like every console did good, but Microsoft with the 360 hit it in all departments. Okay. You people can't even cap for this, man. Come on, bro. You see, they don't even want to give credit to the Xbox 360, all because it has Xbox in it.
Peak for Xbox, it was peak for gaming in general. I think it took a little while for PS3, that generation, to catch on, of course. So Xbox 360 definitely had quite the lead, quite the head start, doing everything imaginably right out of the gate for the most part.
That's not true because it had Red Ring of Death. What are you talking about? Matter of fact, if it wasn't for that, we probably wouldn't even be talking about PlayStation.
Right, minus the setbacks later on with the Red Ring.
Oh, there you go.
You know, people catching on, being like, you're charging us at that point in time, taking account for inflation, the wireless adapter, right? We've talked about that before on this channel. I was struggling to get anything. I was living on my own, right? Freshly living on my own. Trying to come up with $100 just for a wireless adapter.
Really? Are you serious, bro? Like, I mean, considering how old you look, I would think a man of your age wouldn't have a problem getting a $100 adapter. I mean, didn't you buy 3 copies of Concord? To some people, they were children, so it would make sense as to why their mommy and daddy wouldn't buy them a $100 adapter. But, you seem to be an adult. You know, past his 40s. So explain to me how you couldn't afford a $100 adapter in your adulthood.
This was very difficult to do because you wanted to take advantage of the online opportunities the Xbox Live was giving you, right? So it was definitely a FOMO, and you got the most out of your games having the online option. So, yeah, just a lot to kind of go over there. But again, folks, not very happy with the current leadership. Again,
but you guys gotta understand, I'm not happy with current PlayStation either. Let's go back to the days of when PlayStation 1 and 2 were making... Oh, no, they never made their own games. They were just third party. I forgot. Like, what are you guys talking about, bro? That happened back in the 90s and the early 2000s. Those same things don't apply anymore. This is what you guys don't understand. So when you guys take these stupid stances and say that Microsoft needs to go back to the Xbox 360 era of gaming, explain to me how that would work in today's gaming demographic. Matter of fact, Call of Duty used to destroy games back then. Now it's completely destroying them now. I remember when Call of Duty came out. Matter of fact, I even told my father, I said, look, Call of Duty is destroying gaming. I remember seeing people go from Rainbow Six Vegas to playing Call of Duty because the game was just more casual. That was happening even back then. Now you have to say to yourself, oh, wow, imagine now.
Bring back the old team. At this point in time, we're so far deep as far as the Xbox brand is concerned that trying to course correct that, even if you had the best of the best during the 360 era, making the right decisions, starting from scratch right this second, I don't see that being course corrected in enough time. It would take a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a lot of loss of money. You name it, right? They have the money to spare, but would they do that as a business? They don't care. PlayStation.
Hold on, let me hear what he said.
As a business, they don't care. PlayStation, as a business, doesn't care.
Oh, okay. So we have come to the conclusion that neither of these companies care. Now, why do you care? Now, ask yourself, why are you so defensive when it comes to PlayStation when you just admitted out of your own mouth that even PlayStation don't care? So then why do you care? Because I can sit there and tell you that PlayStation will never be the same company that they were back in the days, bro. Those days is over. That is what we consider the golden age of gaming, where creativity and where companies were really trying to push out the best of what gaming can offer. We don't live in that era no more.
No business corporation cares about you as a consumer. They care about...
So then why do you always so quick to defend PlayStation every time they make a mistake?
Retaining to a point. They care about making that money, get that back lined up and straightened, because that's all that matters at the end of the day. So do what does best for you and go forward with that decision.
Yep, and that's called building my retro gaming catalog. Don't putting so much emphasis on it. Like you people have to understand, man. I like Xbox because it gives me games to play. It's not really that hard to understand. You guys keep talking about, oh, well, let me tell you, Xbox Series X is definitely by far better than the PS5. You have more freedom with the dev mode. You can literally play PS1 and 2 games on it at 4K 60 while you guys are waiting for ports with trophies on PlayStation. I mean, you got to look at it. That's how I'm seeing it. I'm looking at, okay, these are all the games that I'm getting in comparison to what I'm getting on PlayStation. Fair enough. This has nothing to do, oh, you're just an Xbox fan. Really? An Xbox fanboy playing PlayStation 2 games through dev mode on my console? That's a fanboy? No, that to me sounds like a smart consumer. What do you people don't talk about? Oh, matter of fact, I wanted to bring up the fact that ever since Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 came out, I've been having a hard time game sharing the game, and I haven't really been able to play it. I'm actually quite disappointed in Microsoft. Hopefully they get this rectified. Hopefully this doesn't speak volumes as to what's to come, maybe with the new Xbox platform. Who knows? It could just be a glitch going on. But still, it's something that I've seen, and it's something that I didn't like. I've had this happen to me on PlayStation 5. I have multiple PS5s. We have people come over, they play, and it just completely signs the other person out, mostly probably due to the license key. This is something, guys, that I feel that these companies are trying to weed out. I don't think, because you got to understand, if you have multiple people using the same Game Pass Ultimate or PlayStation Plus Premium, sharing the same games, you got to look at it like from a company's perspective and say, hold on, we could be making far more money if we just had it individual, like what Nintendo's doing with the games on one platform. Y'all like, oh, snap, games, you're right. And I think that's where consoles might be heading. I think it's kind of concerning considering that PlayStation and Microsoft have advocated for even Nintendo for game sharing, and now you can see that they're finding ways to stop that. And I think that's crazy, and that's all to push more subscribers to the service. That's all it is.
Do not think any corporation is ever your friend. By the end of the day, they are a business, okay? Let's keep going. Ackman had some stuff to say. If you don't believe that, then I got some news for you, and I got I got a bridge to sell you here. So that being said, it's trend exclusives for the Xbox ecosystem in general. Do you know if it's coming out? They could show gameplay, they could show all sorts of stuff, and it's like, is this smoke and mirrors? How far along is this project? Are they just going to pull the rug out from these devs?
Oh yeah, just like how Sony pulled the rug under Concord. You're right. And that game even came out. And then the game, essentially was canceled in 2 weeks. Like, see, this is what I'm saying, man. You guys don't want to read the room. We could keep blaming Microsoft. We could keep blaming Sony. But it's really a AAA gaming problem that we have now. So then you have to ask yourself, okay, but I believe in the concept of a PS6, 7, and 8. Well, then you have to understand that if you do, and you're telling people that it's okay to make AA games instead of AAAs, then you don't need expansive hardware. AAA is what pushes the hardware to its limits, not AA. They're like, oh, Snap Games, I see what you're saying. So when you go as far to tell me that Sony should focus more on AAs, then you're also telling me that Sony shouldn't make a next-generation console either. Because you don't need a next-generation console to push AA games on it. Or indies, should I say. They're like, oh, checkmate. So this is the problem with your argument. If AAA gaming, which I do think will exist, but it will only exist in like the games that we see now, GTAs and all that. It's going to be the same games. I've already noticed it. So, bro, we're going to come to a point where indie games, well, I can still think they'll make them, but it's going to get to a point where it's like they're never going to chart. And if they do, you'll get maybe a Black Myth Wukong situation or a Power World and very far in between. But you have to ask yourself, how many new games or franchises have we seen? It's all the same games that I've been playing for 20 or for some people 30 years ago. The same franchises, Rainbow, Call of Duty, Madden. Bro, this was all popular during the Genesis. What is new? You're like, oh, Snap Games, I see your point. What new franchises have we seen? The only way you're going to see them is through indies because companies are not going to take the chances and putting a huge budget in the game just for it to potentially flop and fail. This is the reason why your games are getting canceled. That doesn't mean that they're not good. Well, Concord wasn't, but I'm just saying that doesn't mean that some of the games that Sony or whoever was working on might have not potentially been good. It just has more to do with the fact of how the market is today. They cannot afford to put $800 million in a game and only 1 million people buy it. Even though you say, well, they got my money. Well, they need more of you dummies to buy it. That's what you don't understand. They need more of you people. And unfortunately, this is why I try to tell you, the hardcore gamer, the old school gamer is getting weeded out. This market does not care about you no more. So when you guys say that PlayStation 5 or Xbox is dead, they're already dead in my heart. PlayStation and Xbox is already dead. Now, mind you, Microsoft still do got their iconic franchises, so I can't say they're completely dead. But when it comes to PlayStation, they're already dead in my heart. They're already dead. Because you know why? Where's the established franchises that I grew up playing from Sony? Oh, we don't see them no more. We see some of the new ones, right, that they started on PS4, but we don't see the SOCOMs. We don't see the Sly Coopers, right? We might get a few Ratchet and Clanks, but not as much as we used to back in the days. Bro, where's the first party games from Sony?
All that sort of stuff, right? So it's, we have people calling it out at least, and we're not done there. So Ackman continues on with another post here. Executive producer at Xbox suggests recently fired employees use AI to cope with their new job loss. Yes, we didn't hear about this. This is pretty damn tone deaf considering AI is replacing a lot of these positions, right? Continues.
Which is true.
In other news, Matt Turnbull eats his own crap because he likes the taste. I'm not cussing because I'm afraid to or that I don't. It just helps with the monetization.
Oh, that's funny. Because the last time, didn't you call Sir Bruvian you know what? Now you afraid to talk? What are you talking about? Like, aren't you the same dude that goes as far to insult people based off some derogatory stuff that you said about them? I'm not even gonna say it. Everybody knows exactly where I'm going. And then you have the same friends that you talk to on a day-to-day basis saying the same things to other people. Like, oh no, it's Alex. Okay.
Just an FYI, if you are new to this channel, Matt Turnbull. These are really challenging times, and if you're navigating a layoff or preparing for
But even then, I'm going to speak up on this. Now, I don't care what you're about to say. I'm going to say this, right? The AI, yes, that might have replaced a few jobs there or whatever. Now, you have to ask your question. Now, you have to ask these questions that, is it going to ruin creativity? Now, it's going to help by pushing games out, and that's probably why Microsoft is working on that. But still, now you're going to start seeing games look more the same. The creativity, the passion of, the artwork that these people have created is going to all just be done through AI. They just have to think of the concept of the game. The AI will do all the other stuff. And I mean, yes, games will be pushed out, but we might not see the creative decisions that companies have to used to make when they were out here developing games. Okay? Which is creativity. Which we might still see in indies, right? But we might not see it anymore when it comes to AAAs. I mean, to me, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because games are already taking long to make, guys. You got to understand, 7 to 8 years for some of these titles. And this is probably going to help alleviate that. So titles will come out more. But hopefully this AI don't make the games look samey. You know what I mean? It's like I said, it's a double edge. It really is. Everything that's going on is a double edge. And I'm not really for it, right? I think it's kind of, but still, I mean, it's like you can't. It's like you can't be for it, and then you're like, damn. But then the games are taking too long to make. We're only getting older, guys. We're not getting younger. You know what I'm saying? And for people saying, "Oh, I could wait 7 to 8 years for games," bro, that's like about a decade of your life, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Imagine waiting 8 to 10 years for a game, bruh. Imagine. I'm sorry, bro. This is why video gaming for some people. This is why nobody cares about playing other games. Because why would I wait 10 years of my life? That's the reason why Shenmue 3, I didn't feel it. It took too long to make. This game should have came out a long time ago. And on top of that, the game wasn't even that good in the first place. It's just like, I just look at myself, man. Some of y'all in your 40s and your 50s advocating for 7 to 8-year-old game development cycles. I really don't know how you guys do this. You guys are depriving yourself by just playing on one platform when you could just have access to everything. You're adults. You can afford everything. Why are you bottlenecking? Why are you bottlenecking yourself? That don't make no sense to me, man. Considering how old you guys are, you really don't have any room to do that. You don't have any room to wait for these Xbox games going to PS5. You really don't. I'm just saying, man, I need to play these games now. If I'm 50 years old like this fool here, I got to play my stuff now. I can't afford to wait because I might not see the day to be able to play these same games. Like, are you serious? Like, this is what they're doing. And the crazy part is, you guys are grown. 50-year-old men doing this. Not children. 50-year-old men acting as you got more time in the world than anybody else that starts off at 11 or 10 years old. You don't have this time, buddy. And I'm telling you, when GTA, even though it took 12 years for those little kids that played it back in 2013, now they're in their 20s. Now they can enjoy GTA 6, and that'll probably be the last game they retire on, because at that point, they can't wait for another 12-year or 13-year cycle for the next GTA. Okay? If you was 40, 50 years old playing GTA, you would be 60, bro, you would be 62 or 63 years old now, bro. The man probably didn't even make it to GTA 6. Okay? Understand what's really going on here, man, because you people don't get it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, man, Xvault Gaming, he just don't like Xbox because his name is Xvault.